Welcome back to another video. This time we're back in Elan Valley and just in time for me to make a big mistake. I hope you enjoy this one. Welcome back to another adventure starting in Elan Valley at the famous quarry spot. We stayed the night, we got there very late at night on my birthday, and now we're ready for the morning ahead of us here in Wales. First up on the agenda for this day was the famous Elan Valley trail that runs up to the Clairwen Dam. You've definitely seen it on the channel and you may have even seen it very recently. Up ahead there is a rock step, and if you follow me on Instagram you may have seen we are coming up to a bit of an incident very shortly, but that's foreshadowing and we'll stick to what we know right now. I don't think I need to run us through it, so I'll let the pictures do the talking. There's a little bit of brake screech there as you heard. This is the first trip after installing the new brakes, and this is about 400 miles into them. I can now say thankfully the discs being changed on the back has sorted the screeching issue, and I'm very happy about that. As you can see, Josh up ahead climbed those rocky inclines with ease and made it look a bit of a breeze. Boris is coming up behind now, still with the very solid anti-roll bar before changing it. Did manage to do it with lower pressures, but was a bit rocky. So we are just approaching the gate before the rock step, and Josh is going to take his L200 up there first, taking the middle line and making it look very easy indeed. Now it's my turn to make it look a lot more difficult. I am going over to the left a lot more, but it is going to slip. Let's just take a look back to December last year and me taking the left lane, and it went very well. Didn't have a roof tent on, not sure if that helped, but let's take a look at this time. It looks like that middle section just off the left is a bit more abrupt. Looks like I'm just about to do it.
Oh, you so had it, you let off. You so had it.
That's what Sam did last time, it's like to keep the power on.
You just need to keep the power on in this one to get you up that step that's in front of the bigger step. It's where those front wheels just get hooked up. It's there. Many bikes need to keep the power on. And from this angle it's quite easy to see, but when you're in the car you're blind.
Right hand down, so when you want your back. So you want your front wheel to come to my feet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now with hindsight I can see that's a massive hit. The chassis doesn't look good after that. And this is where it starts to all go wrong. What I need to do is back off, find a slightly easier route up, but I definitely think the furthest left or the furthest right is the easiest. Oh jeez, even now I see that. It's a very sketchy angle and you can see it from up here as well. God, jeez, I had no idea when I was in the car quite how far it's going, but you can see the back wheels there lifting 2 feet in the air, the back left one, Michelle behind, Jack and Katie, and then Pete on the left, all raising their hands to their mouths, and it was very scary for everyone. God, jeez, looking at it now, it looks really scary, but at the time I was none the wiser, but very happy to get up it in the end.
It looked.
Yeah, my heart literally went into.
I'm not joking. Pete showed me his hands, and he was like this.
Yeah.
Like his hands went.
Not the first lane.
His hands went white and was doing this.
Yep, I managed to scare everyone by being an idiot, and Jack breezes it. That left lane is definitely the option, and Jack did some fantastic driving there. Yeah, he did make it look very easy. Unfortunately, I didn't have any shots from Pete this trip, but here's one from a few weeks ago, and he breezed it as normal. All we need to do now is make our way along the trail through the few puddles that there are. It gets quite rocky here and there, but it is a very fun one, and it's nice to do it in a convoy. On this trip, I actually managed to get behind the wheel of Jack's 90 and they went into Boris. The difference in power with that M57 and the noise is completely different, and it is going to inspire me to get one for myself in the future, but they did like Boris as well. Now we're going to stop up and get some photos of the dam. Unfortunately, it's got to the point with Boris's chassis now, when you park on a bit of a sort of cross axle, you can't shut any of the doors, so I had to put my foot on the door to actually get it to latch and shut. Before long, it's time to get back into the trucks and crack on down the lane. There's a few more little water crossings, some puddles, nothing too tricky, but it is a fun technical one, and we all seem to enjoy it. So now we're approaching the dam, as you can see, and the river crossing as well. We've done this one so many times, I sort of forget it's even there, and it's usually quite low as well. I wonder if anyone out there has crossed it when it is over wheel height or even bonnet. Let me know if you have. But now Jack and Katie are coming up behind, and they're going to do it as well. Josh brought his drone on the trip, so thank you very much to him for these shots. We were actually quite surprised at how low the reservoir was at this time of year, seeing as there has been a bit of rain. But we did just have a nice little break on the bridge here, and then we're going to head off and hit the road. Always a lovely bit going down through these trees. Looks fantastic, almost like nighttime in the middle of the day. Another example of the level of the reservoirs is the viaduct / bridge on the right there. It's very tall looking, and usually the water is almost up to the top of the arches. So we just parked up for a spot of lunch outside of the Water Break Its Neck waterfall, and then went for a little walk. We were here a few weeks ago, but it's nice to be back with a convoy of people that hadn't done it before.
We were just here the other day. This is Water Break Its Neck Trail. A few bikes just come through just then. It's a really cool one actually. Sophie's driving again now. It's a good one for her to drive on. It's nice, not too difficult, which is good. Cool being here in a whole convoy. And on we go to the next bit of the trail.
It's a really nice, easy, scenic trail going up over the hills here. As you make your way up through, there are lots of gates, and that is quite off-putting, but generally it is very nice. And as you get further and further, the views get nicer. Pete is always leading the convoy. I feel bad, but he is a fantastic organiser and is always good up front there. You can see remains of the Clairwen Dam trail on the side of Boris there. Always comes out looking like a quarry explosion. Towards the end here, you start reaching a few barns, and more sheep, as you can see, start descending down onto a main road. And just as you think it's all over, there is a right hand turn that takes you even further onto another trail. This lane actually goes all the way through some farmland and out onto a main road. Not very nice junction, but it is directly opposite Coco's, which is where we're going to be staying tonight. We had a real mix of weathers. As you can see, it started cloudy, but then the sun came out as it started to set. We got our camp set up and the barbecue out. We were treated to chili and jacket potatoes on the fire. So I thought I'd just do a little camp tour. You can see Ratchet tied up to Jack's truck there, waiting patiently. Pete and Michelle's truck with the roof tent ready and waiting in the sun. We've already got the fire going and the jacket potatoes are well underway. Katie and Jack's tent's up as well, and I've got the awning out. Even though it's sunny right now, it has just been torrential rain and we all hid underneath the actual awning, and we'll work out later on it will pour down again, unfortunately. All there was time to do now was have a few drinks and food, share a few laughs, and then get to bed ready for the next day.
So it's the morning here at Coco's. Had a great night in the rain, had the awning out which worked a treat, and now we're gonna try and head to Stata, Florida. Should be good. The wind is in, you probably can't hear me, but I think we're gonna have a good day.
We decided before Strata to do the Golf Links lane that runs out of Elan Valley. It's a lovely one that is very scenic, but it's also got a few challenges and is quite long as well. You definitely feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, and it opens out at the top to a nice view of the surrounding areas when it's clear. We even bumped into a guided tour that was being led up this lane, and they spotted Boris, and I received this video a few days later. Thanks for sending that over. It's great seeing these off-road bikes on the trails when you're up in Wales, and when you're out here you're almost 100% certain to see some. Now we're on the main road that takes you towards Aberystwyth. It follows this lovely valley, and we've passed so many times this old sort of mining area, so we thought we'd stop up and have a little look around. It's a great spot just by the side of the road. I definitely recommend just having a walk around. It's really open and there is a lot of information written and dotted around the place and what they used to do here, and it is a lovely spot to just visit. Right now we are approaching Stata, Florida from the north direction. It's getting a little bit late in the day and the weather is coming in as well. Unfortunately I didn't film all too much, but we did lose a bead in the convoy. There's a really deep puddle just on the entrance at the top, and unfortunately Josh lost the bead. Thankfully this really impressive Jeep came to the rescue, and he had a big A-bar and a winch on the front, and Jack got to work trying to get that bead back on there and finally managed it in the end. Unfortunately this was a sign for us, and as it was late in the day and we needed to get home, we decided to turn around, do the little bit of lane that we had done already, and then head home. This guy had come down from Stoke and we were very happy for him for helping us, and now the traffic that was stopped on the lane could carry on. Now it's time for us to just try and get back onto the trail and head back out. It just shows you how quickly trails can change. Literally a week before, Pete had done Stata, Florida, and that massive rutted puddle wasn't there. 2 trucks lost their beads while we were there for about half an hour, and we're quite happy to be turning around and heading home. We've had a really fantastic chilled out trip. I just took my GoPro at the end by chance, got a few clips, and then I have managed to put a video together. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.